We now offer specialized services such as PCQI, FSQA, FSVP services, supplier approval programs, and we've also developed a compliance management system software through interlinkiq.com to streamline documentation and audit readiness. To further support businesses, we launched dedicated platforms for compliance with FSVP, PCQI, SQF, BRCGS, FSSC 22000, and dietary supplement regulations, helping companies stay aligned with global food safety and certification standards. Over the next several weeks, we will be walking through the key components of SQF compliance, breaking them down into manageable weekly sessions. Each week, we'll focus on a specific program or requirement to help you understand how it ties into certification and day-to-day food safety practices. This progressive approach will ensure that you only not understand the requirements under SQF modules 2.1 and 2.2, but also how to apply them effectively within your organization. In today's session, we will begin by familiarizing ourselves with the SQF 2.1.1 Management Responsibility Program. We'll start with a clear description of the requirements, followed by a walkthrough of the compliance action activities, which are scheduled tasks carried out on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and semi-annual basis to ensure ongoing certification readiness. We will also discuss the importance of the annual review and internal audit activities, which serve as checkpoints to verify the effectiveness of the program and maintain continuous improvement. After this section, we will open the floor for a Q&A session, giving you the opportunity to clarify requirements and ask questions related to implementation. And as part of this training, you can access a free 90-day trial of our SQF certification management software. This tool helps streamline compliance tasks, assign accountability, and keep audit-ready record. It is also a great way to prepare for SQF certification, as many participants use it to get familiar with the SQF code and practice spotting compliance gaps before an official audit. And finally, upon completion of this training, each participant will receive a familiarization training certificate. To ensure that you receive your certificate, please make sure that your full name, phone number, and email address are submitted to hello@consultareinc.com. On the screen, you will see a sample of the familiarization certificate that you will receive upon completing each session. With that, let's move forward to our training session, where we will be working directly with the SQF Compliance Management System software. So once logged in into the software, you will have access to the compliance dashboard. So this dashboard serves as your digital library and management tool where you can centralize the SQF code and all related compliance documentation. As you can see, the requirements are arranged in hierarchy so you can quickly navigate, upload, or retrieve important documents when needed, especially during an audit. Let's start by going over the description of the Management Responsibility Program. So please take a look at the description on the screen. It says, to implement SQF 2.1.1.1, senior site management shall prepare and implement a policy statement that outlines at a minimum the commitment of all site management to first, supply safe food, establish and maintain a food safety culture within the site, establish and continually improve the site's food safety management systems, and comply with customer and regulatory requirements to supply safe food. The policy statement shall be signed by the senior site manager and displayed in prominent positions and effectively communicated to all site personnel in the language or languages understood by all site personnel. You may update or edit the description as needed. For example, to reflect revisions when the new SQF edition, like the Edition 10, are released. So to implement this requirement or this program, we have created a list of action items in the compliance tab. So this section helps FSQA or SQF practitioners stay organized by scheduling tasks according to frequency, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual activities. It also tracks completed activities, assigns accountability, and keep audit-ready records in one place. So you can either add your own compliance action items here, or we can preload all required activities for you to perform. So let's check some of your compliance action items to comply with the Management Responsibility Program requirement. So it includes first, monitor and verify that food safety and quality practices are being followed on the floor. Next, check that the food safety policy is posted in visible areas and has not been tampered with or removed. Third is to observe and promote a food safety culture during shift walkthroughs, communicate any immediate food safety risks to management, reinforce food safety commitment in daily pre-shift or huddle meetings, conduct short toolbox talks or reminders on food safety culture with your team, review incident logs, customer complaints, or non-conformances for management awareness, verify that communication boards and postings like your policy statements or any reminders remain updated and visible. Next is report to senior site management on any emerging compliance or customer requirements. Conduct a policy awareness check with randomly selected employees to ensure that food safety policy is understood. Submit a monthly FSQA report to senior management summarizing food safety culture observations, compliance issues, and improvements. Review policy communication effectiveness. Assess if translations or visual aids are needed for better understanding. Support management review prep by compiling records on compliance with SQF requirements. Facilitate food safety culture surveys or short assessments among staff to gauge understanding and commitment. Hold a management meeting to discuss continuous improvement opportunities in the FSMS or food safety management system. Verify training records to ensure all personnel have been briefed on the food safety policy. Conduct internal communication checks. Is the policy reinforced in newsletters, posters, or digital platforms? Next is assist senior management in reviewing and, if necessary, updating the food safety policy to reflect changes in operations, regulations, or customer requirements. Another biannual or semi-annual action item is verify that the updated policy is signed by the senior site manager and reposted in prominent positions. And finally, retrain staff through refresher sessions on the updated policy. So basically, this serves as a checklist of compliance activities that you need to perform as an SQF practitioner. So to complete these activities, we provided work instructions on this section here, and it includes the specific compliance activities as well as any artifacts or records that needs for document completion. For example, to complete the action item which states that check that the food safety policy is posted in visible areas and has not been tampered with or removed, let's check the work instruction here. So to complete this activity, you need to take this or perform these several tasks here, like plan and schedule policy posting checks. So this includes establishing frequency and assigning responsibility for monitoring visibility of posted policies. And as an artifact or record to um, provide evidence of compliance, you can fill up or complete the monitoring schedule, responsibility matrix, or inspection plan. Another compliance activity to complete the action item is to conduct walkthrough of designated areas. So this includes inspection of the entrances, production floor, break rooms, and offices to confirm policy is displayed. Artifacts or records needed here are walkthrough checklist, site map with posting points, or inspection lag. Also, you need to verify current version and accuracy. So this involves checking that the posted policy matches the latest approved version and reflects updates. Artifacts or records needed here are document control lag, approved policy master copy, or version verification form. Also, you need to check document integrity and visibility. So you need to ensure postings are legible, clean, untampered, securely placed, and easy to read. So the records or artifacts needed are inspection notes, photo documentation, or verification checklist. Also, you need to identify missing, damaged, or altered policies. So you need to note any postings that are faded, removed, covered, or tampered with. So the artifacts or records you need to complete here are non-conformance lag, observation report, or risk assessment. Also, part of completing this compliance action item is to take immediate corrective action. So this can be done by replacing damaged or missing postings and resecure documents in correct locations. So you need to complete corrective action lag, replacement or reposting record, or supervisor acknowledgement. Part of completing the action item is to communicate findings to management. So you need to share results of the inspection, the issues found, and any corrective actions completed. So you need to complete the summary inspection report, management communication record, or email or memo. And finally, you need to retain and file records for audit readiness. So it involves ensuring inspection records, corrective actions, and verification reports are controlled and retrievable. So the artifacts or records that need to be completed or filled up are filed inspection forms, controlled records, or retained reports. So to complete this specific action item, the one that we've discussed, that check that the food safety policy is posted, you need to upload any supporting evidence of your artifacts or records or images. So your team's reviewer and approver will check the document, and once approved, your compliance status can be updated from no to yes. So here's an example of a completed action item. For the same requirement, check that the food safety policy is posted in visible areas and has not been tampered or removed. Compliance can be demonstrated by uploading this image. So it's an image or a picture of a food safety policy posted in visible areas within the production area. So your aim is to complete every action item here and convert them from no to yes. With that, you are confident that your facility is audit ready. So once again, these are simply examples of compliance best practices that you can adapt in your facility. You may also customize or develop your own action items tailored to your specific processes. Now let's go over to the annual review tab. It serves as your gap assessment tool. So this is designed as an internal audit checklist in the form of questionnaires aligned with the SQF code. It lists all required annual review items to help you maintain compliance with SQF certification requirements. For example, under Management Responsibility Program, you may find these questions such as, is the food safety policy current, signed by senior management, and displayed in prominent areas? Or has the policy been effectively communicated to all employees in a language they understand? Is there evidence of management commitment to promoting a food safety culture? Were management review meetings conducted and documented during the year? Is there a designated SQF practitioner with defined authority and responsibility? Has the SQF practitioner received required training and maintained competency? Has an organizational chart been updated and approved within the past year? Were internal audit results reviewed in the last management review meeting? Were customer complaints and recalls reviewed in the last management review meeting? Are corrective and preventive actions from prior reviews tracked and closed out? Is there a process to communicate regulatory and customer requirements to employees? Is there a documented procedure for managing controlled documents? Are records from management reviews and food safety meetings maintained and accessible? And is the most recent version of policies and procedures available to all staff? So let's take one annual review item as an example and see how compliance is demonstrated. For example, the question, were management review meetings conducted and documented during the year? Let's check on the work instructions and how to complete this specific annual review item. So to comply this, you need to schedule management review meetings. This includes verifying that at least one management review meeting is scheduled and conducted annually or more frequently if needed. So you need to provide evidence for your artifacts or records such as meeting calendar, meeting invitations, or scheduling emails. Also, part of compliance is to prepare meeting agenda. So you need to ensure that the agenda includes SQF required items such as food safety performance, audit results, complaints, corrective actions, resource needs, and system changes. You need to complete the approved meeting agenda or agenda with signatures and approvals. After preparing the meeting agenda, you need to conduct the actual meeting and record attendance. So this includes confirming that senior management, SQF practitioner, and relevant department heads participated in the meeting. You need to have the attendance sheet with signatures, virtual attendance logs if the meeting is conducted virtually, or sign-in records. After conducting the meeting, you need to document or during conducting the meeting, you need to document the meeting minutes and the action items. So you need to verify that discussions, decisions, and assigned responsibilities are well documented. Meeting minutes, action item log tracker, or follow-up notes are needed as artifacts or records here. After that, you need to track and close action items. So you need to ensure that action items are assigned, monitored, and completed within the agreed timelines. To provide evidence of compliance, you need an updated action item tracker or a CAPA report, follow-up verification records. And finally, you need to file and retain records for audit readiness. So it involves confirming that all management review documentation is properly filed, controlled, and retrievable for audits. The artifacts or records that needs to be completed here are management review binder or digital folder, annual review checklist showing the question answered as yes, and annual management review summary report. So this is just a simple functionality that helps you measure compliance progress while also preparing your site for both internal audits or external SQF certification audits. That ends the presentation. So let's move on to our Q&A session. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have. If none, I think this concludes our training session for today on SQF 2.1.1 Management Responsibility Program.